So, welcome to the lecture. I'm glad to see you here. How many saw me last year? Oh. Thank you. Okay. So, huh?
No pressure.
Oh, okay. Breathe. I got the message this morning. The lecture has changed time. You have 15 minutes. Oh, okay. Go. Oops. Came undone. It says connection.
Nee,
Perhaps your chair makes closer.
das wohl. Nee, das Zeitfenster oder die Uhrzeit eine andere war und sie
Okay,
zu
so
spät
this
dran
is
war.
a demonstration of horse speak for it is for horses, by horses, and the language is initiated at birth. So a couple of really interesting research projects we've worked on since the last time you saw me. And one of them was decoding mother-to-child communication in the first hours to first week of birth. How many different horses did we sample? It was about 10 different situations. So we're seeing, and 2 of them were primitive wild horses, and then the rest were domestic. So really interesting stuff. We have a webinar about it because it's too interesting to talk about a lot, but it will show up here, so it's very exciting. So the language is initiated at birth, which is why horse speak is precise equine body language skills. So the skills are for us, not them. Okay. The skills are for us. The horses know it. It's their language. The mother teaches it. It is perhaps there, but she wakes it up. Does this make sense? She connects, and then depending on her qualities, she makes some things really great, or if she's really poor, perhaps she doesn't make some things so good. So this is why it's so important for us to know what the language is and should be. So if the baby was poor, the mother was weak or sick, or the baby lost the mother, any reason, got taken away too young, like Mustangs sometimes lose their mothers in the process of being rounded up, and so that it's too young, and they have a lot of problems. So one of the reasons we developed this was because of working with what's called in America called 3-strike Mustangs. So they've been purchased and trained and sent back, and again purchased and trained differently, sent back, and the third time they're sent back to the rescue. Some rescues slaughter, and some just say, they live here for life, they don't go. And then that was my project horse to see if anything could be done. So the language of equines is spoken with precise gestures, postures, and signals. The messages were encoded into the horse's brain from birth. This is very important. The messages that we are using are already there. You don't teach horse speak. That'd be like, I'm teaching you German. It's already there. I didn't have to learn German, but you don't. You know it, right? You don't teach horse speak. It's already there. You learn it, okay? This helps us to achieve mental, emotional, and physical balance with horses, no matter what discipline. So it doesn't matter. You're Western, English, bareback, just sitting there with a tree. Oh, it's a nice day. Doesn't matter. It will help the horse's mental, emotional, and physical balance because the mother has to teach her baby how to do these things. How to be mentally balanced. I can think. How to be emotionally balanced. Calm down. And how to be physically balanced. How this works with this. It works. Okay? Go. From passion to practical. My passion was working with horses at rescues. This experience demanded that I dive deeper into what horses required to feel safe and connected with people. I often collaborated with horse health experts, both standard veterinary care and other healing modalities, which helped me to deepen my awareness and understanding of the expression of pain in horses. So at rescues, you have many horses in pain. And many horses in pain look like this. No, I don't. I'm not fine. And when they start to relax, they're like, oh, yeah, it hurts. Because prey animal. Anyone heard this word, prey animal? It means the one who is hunted. If you go hunting, it's the one who is hunted, like a deer, a rabbit, prey animal. They're, in nature, if they show I'm wounded, I hurt, the wolf, the coyote, the fox eats that one first. It's easy to catch, easy to eat. So they are prey animals, so nature says don't show it. Okay, so when they have some stress or they don't feel safe, they don't show pain if they can avoid it. When they trust you and the stress goes down and it's called resiliency. Have you heard this word? Resiliency, and being able to switch from sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic. Okay, when they can switch, then they show you. And some horses at rescues don't switch. And so something's wrong, he bucks every time. There is pain. All the veterinarians would come and we had acupuncture, osteopaths, herbs, many things. And finally someone would find it. Oh, I found it. And then the horse completely changes because we could address the pain. But they're so good at hiding, okay? Equine assisted learning and intercollegiate coach. I help to design and implement new equine assisted learning programs in New England schools. So I developed several programs. One was at the college. I was also the intercollegiate coach for a college team. So in this case, I was working with special people who have, they're autistic or they have dyslexia, ADHD, or brain injury, or any reason why this person is vulnerable. And does this word translate?
Verletzlich.
Say it?
Verletzlich.
That word. So the work with the rescue horses, they are, that word, vulnerable. And the work with the people, they are vulnerable. So they're special. And because of this, I learned that regular training doesn't touch it. It doesn't help the person, it doesn't help the horse. It's cool, and I know a lot, but it doesn't matter if the horse is too frightened or the student is too poor. It doesn't matter what I know. So what? Doesn't matter. I have to reach that one. Does this make sense? Okay. From teacher to student, that's me. After a few years of working intensely with these two special needs populations, my interest in truly understanding equine's subtle body language took me on a journey. Like the baby horse, I began to trust the guidance of a few elders, and finally I began to get answers. Here the mother hovers over the grooming button, here, to signal connection and pleasant comfort. So this is a message mothers give babies when the baby is learning, and they learn like, oh, I put my leg there. Mother will come here and go there, and then breathe, touch, breathe, touch, breathe. And the baby goes, ah. And we see this hundreds of times. And the message is the same for the baby. They rest, and then they can learn. So this is like saying, good job. Good baby, good job. Ah. And the baby goes, okay. And then the mother says, now more. So this is so important. And now we learn for adult horses to hover your hand there over the wither, just just hover like the lips of the mother. Maybe not even touch, could be in the air, just in the air. Well done, down. And you see horses go, the skin. Well done. Well done. Me? You. And then they go, I did it. Okay? So it's very cool. Keep going.
And just to note that the photos that are here are at night and within the first hour of this bolt being born.
Yes. What we have learned. Here we are, nearly 20 years later, and we have made some unique discoveries about equine body language. very quickly we realized that if you are going to understand one horse, you must also understand how a herd of horses communicate. You must understand what their real drives are and what they seem to talk about most often. Because a horse is a prey animal, but they are also a social animal. Does this word translate social? So they go together. So in nature, one horse by himself is a problem. It's dangerous, which is why there was a picture of us the other day with the comic, and there's a 2-year-old who'd recently been moved away by his father. You're old enough, go. And he hadn't joined the boys yet. He's still following his mother's herd. And the father says, no, you have to go. So he came to us because the game warden, the woman who watches them, he knows her. He said, can I join you? And she said, no, you can't join me either. And he's like, because being alone is really dangerous. So they are a group, they are social. And all of their communication is about how to be social, appropriately. So in nature, there is a very clear way to have a big group of horses, maybe 10, maybe 20 horses, and they live in harmony. Sometimes, yes, there's a moment, but the rest of the time, so if one moment, but the rest of the hour, completely quiet. And that's why we don't look at that, because we say nothing's happening. Not interesting. Ooh, interesting. I watched that. The rest of the hour, not interesting. But that is actually the interesting part, because that's where all the discussions happen. The science behind horse speak. In the last 3 years, we have been involved in an in-depth research project which involves monitoring horses during their normal life to understand the ethograph of their nervous system. This means we can see what the outside of the horse looks like when the inside of the horse shows changes in the nervous system. So here, this is very painfully slow work. 1 hour of footage takes a week because second to second changes. 1 second here, next second here. So here, where we are, this is where we are, and it is in a good range. And so the green shows his positioning of his throat, positioning of the top. And here, only 2 seconds later, the heart is beginning to climb. This represents the heart, and this represents the nervous system. That's all you need to know. Pink line and yellow line. Pink line goes here, see it goes way up. This is a problem. This is your heart. Okay? He goes from to right here. Whoop. And you can see the changes beginning in the body. And by the time he gets to here, these are extreme. So this yellow line going down means the resiliency has gone away. I cannot cope. Panic attack. Can we translate that word, panic attack?
It's the same.
Okay. So what we are doing is measuring the changes in the throat, in the angle of the occiput, in the angle of the mid-thoracic, and the angle of the lower hip, the SI joint. Those angles change consistently, dramatically. Even if the horse doesn't move, they still standing still. He was standing still for most of this. Looked the same, just maybe he goes a little faster, but he's standing there. So during normal, just waiting to go out. That's all. He's just waiting to go out. And this horse had a history of trauma, and so that's why we picked him, because we know things are happening. And this is the horse where everything's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Whoa, it's not fine, suddenly. That's why we say, oh, he's a good one to look at. So these are the changes that you see, and you see these in all horses. All horses show this to you. Here, tight, I cannot swallow. My resiliency is going away if I cannot swallow. And here, tight, my neck has become stiff. I do not bend. I don't want the wolf to be able to pull me down. If the wolf grabs, I want to fight. So I become stiff. Does this make sense? And here, I brought my belly in far away from the ground. Don't get it. Not here, digesting, relaxing, close to the ground. Does this make sense? So the under part and the over have different time of coming back to normal. Often, the over comes back to normal first. So you see they drop the head, they shake a little, you see things soften on the top, but it's still tight. It's still tight. This can take another 15 minutes before this releases. So there are two different responses to stress. That's the big, very interesting. So for our purposes, when I'm looking at a horse, I'm looking at where are the tension markers on the top, where are the tension markers underneath, and then the face. The tighter the lips and muzzle, the more I can't eat, I can't drink, I can't breathe, I can't swallow, I don't know, just like us. I don't know, okay? And the more tension over the eye, the more confusion, worry, concern. So they may have a low head, but the eye does this. It says, I still don't know. I'm trying to be a good boy and do what you say, but I don't really understand. Does this make sense? Okay. So the baseline of safety and protection. One of the most critical things we have learned is how important the sense of safety is to a horse's well-being. It is so high on the list of critical functions in their nervous systems that many of their ethographs and subsequent body language messages are based on what we call protection messages. So this is a fun cartoon of a fence, and we like to use these like a traffic cone. It could be anything. We also use sometimes a football disc. It's like a little, it's easy to carry. Anything, it could be a stick, doesn't matter. But you have put it there, it has your smell. Horses smell as good as a dog smells. And in Colorado now, they're using horses. They give them the t-shirt of the lost hiker, and the horse finds the person in the woods. Because the horse can carry them back. A dog just goes, woof, woof, I found him. Woof, woof, woof. I found him. Horses, I carry him. So they are training horses to find lost people because they smell just like a dog. Okay? So when you put it down, it has your smell. I care for you. I put it there for you. This is why when you are fixing fences, and if you own horses, you are fixing fences, right? Because they break them. You say, look at my beautiful fence. The horse says, I break it. So when you fix a fence and you're banging, you're fixing, and you're focused, all the horses are there. Oh, yeah. There's a nail. And they love this because you look like you are protecting them. It looks like a protector. A protector horse does this. They look and they say, what is this? Okay. It's okay. Like a mother horse also would do this. The baby stays there. She does that. Because the mother doesn't say, hey baby, let's see if there's any bees. This smells funny. Why don't you go expose yourself? The mother does it first. And then in the herd, the protector does it for the herd. And is there only one protector? No, there's usually 3 or 4 different levels of protection. There's not just one leader. There's many kinds. But when you put a cone here, see the line that goes around? You've said there's a distance between where the safety is and where the edge of the fence is. Because outside the edge is the wolf. And the wild, wild forest and scary things. Ooh, who knows what's out there. But the edge represents the risk. Okay? So we've learned to imitate them, and even wild horses have these markers for the edges of their environment. Why they poop in the same place? It's a safety cone. here it is safe. Or they run, here it is not safe. Okay, so they leave the message. When we study horses in the wild also demonstrate the needs of safety and protection. By looking at primitive horses, we can better understand what domestic horses' needs are and why some of their inconvenient instincts exist. So there's many instincts that horses present us that we find very inconvenient. And then we say, so stupid. Why, just dumb. Why you do this? You're a jerk. But no, it's completely purposeful for their world. In our world, it is annoying. In their world, it has purpose. So when you see an instinct happening, you don't like it, doesn't mean it's bad. It just means you don't like it. But if you see them as a social creature, offering protection, safety, comfort, mentoring, communicating, you may have not understood their social rules. They have rules. Like get on a plane and fly and land into the city of the horse. And there's rules in their world. And there are ways. And there are manners. They have their own list. And they look at you and they go, wow, bad manners. Knows nothing. So in this place in Lovenstein, where these are, a person can walk by, la 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 la, ride the bike by, la 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 la, and the horses have taught, we have film of the older stallions teaching little stallions how to leave them alone. We've watched the stallions go in and say, now, when the silly person goes la 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 by, you leave them alone. They fall over, they know nothing, and they will go away. Just leave them alone. And we've seen this happening, okay? So we don't know what their rules are, what their customs and how they do it. But now that we've studied it, we can share it with you because it's very similar to us. Like, no one here is sitting on someone else. Because there is a bubble of personal space, yes? And people here, if they're very close, then they do this. I make it small, yes? Horses have the same rules, but their body is big. So what do we do with our hands? Hey, horse, I want to touch you. And they're like, yes. And then we want to sit on that. And you're like, manners. So it's not bad to ride a horse, but when you understand it from their way, then you get along so much better, okay? So greeting a horse with your outstretched knuckle. When you greet a horse in their language, you can help put them at ease, because at least you know how to say hello. Although there is a greeting ritual protocol, most horses are happy when you simply try. You're like, you learned a word! Good! Yes. To keep yourself safe, it is best to stretch in toward their nose rather than stand too close in case they spook or they're too big, too much energy, too nervous, whatever. By showing the back of your hand, you do not look like a grabby predator. So you show the front, like this. They get more tense. This also can be food, so the tongue comes out. And horses don't greet with their tongue. They don't go to another horse and go, bleh. That's a cow. Horses greet no mouth, no tongue, polite. I don't bite. Okay, so if you're greeting a horse and they're nippy, then they're saying, I'm very stressed. They're telling you on approach, I am really struggling. I am really stressed. And that's why the nippy is happening. Yep. So pay attention to the quadrants on your feet. Positioning means you're able to pay attention to the angle of your approach.
Sorry.
Horses are large animals, and their positioning means something in their herd dynamics. Some horses are so sensitive to this that simply adjusting your positioning so that your frontal approach is not so direct can make a difference between feeling safe or feeling threatened. There are 15 buttons that are established within minutes of the foal's life. As the mare touches her young foal, she brings awareness and communication to these specific areas hundreds of times in the first few hours of life. Sorry, I ran late, I talked too much. Horses use this button, this one right here on the side of the arm, not the front of the chest. This is pride. If you push the chest for backing up, you say, you can't be proud. I take your pride away. This. That's a stallion punches another stallion here to say, you're lower than me. This, the side of the arm. Move the arm, move the body. Okay? Talking over a fence. Because I worked with really difficult horses for a long time, I realized that there is a way to safely get things done by initiating communication from over a fence. Just like us, horses do not need to touch each other to be able to talk. This is one of the... This horse had a troubled past. He was lost, confused, and unhappy. We used the safety of the pen to engage with him in the same way his mother would have. Within about 15 minutes, it opened the door of trust and curiosity. So from this to this, 15 minutes. There is no need to chase horses ever. What we have discovered is that human beings can mirror the essence of equine body language by learning to see things from the horse's perspective. Talented horsemen and women have often told us, I've always done certain things because it's intrinsic. A lot of really talented people figured things out, right? But I didn't necessarily understand why it worked. I've done it, but I didn't know why. So we hear that so often. I wanted to tell you because you are probably doing things too. There's probably some things that you've figured out, but we will help with the catalog of why it works. Becoming heard by the herd. Horse speak applies to all areas of the horse's life and education because it is their language. If you want to teach your horse, learning their language can be a huge step into developing that horse to be his best self. In the process, you may learn a little more about yourself as well. And this is it. Thank you.